Why are wind instruments in different keys? Hello and welcome to Dr. Jimlapbap Stoplight Music Theory, where an ex-music professor with a writing PhD answers music creation questions. Anyway, this is one I get a lot. 3 answers. People can play multiple versions of the same instrument, people like the sound better, and it's the way it is for a long time and would take too much effort to change. Several instruments, their written music in Western notation is in a different key than what it sounds like. Alto saxophone is in E flat, tenor saxophone is in B flat. If you read soprano saxophone in B flat, if you switch to alto saxophone in E flat, you have the same fingerings for the same note, so you don't have to learn new fingerings. Now, there are also other things like the clarinet. The most common clarinet transposition is B flat, but there's also A clarinet. B flat clarinet, they will play for flat keys, and A clarinet will play for sharp keys. Most people just have a B flat clarinet. Probably the most common instrument that is transposed that has a C version is the trumpet. Orchestras very commonly have C trumpets, but in concert bands in the United States, they're almost all B flat trumpets, either euphonium or baritone. Sometimes they're written in treble clef, so that people can switch from trumpet to that instrument without having to learn new fingering. Horn is in F. It used to be the horn didn't have valves and you could only play the harmonic series, horn in F, horn in E flat. They would just write it in C and then have the extension transpose it down to the key it matched. There are also things like string bass actually doesn't play the pitch written, it plays an octave below. Piccolo's the opposite, an octave above. It's technically a transposed instrument. For practical use, you don't want to have all these ledger lines for the actual pitch, up or down. Now, why in current music are the transposed instruments the primary instruments? I've heard people like the sound of the B-flat saxophone more than a C saxophone, which does exist, but people like the B-flat saxophone sound better. Things like that. This is what stuck in the past, and in order to make everything standard, everyone would have to buy new instruments, relearn all the parts, and people would have to rewrite all the parts to be in the key of C. It's like the QWERTY keyboard. There are more efficient ways to type, but since we've been using it for so long, it would involve a massive overhaul, and everyone would have to unlearn everything that they've already learned.